Hey everyone, welcome to Simble Things, a channel where we talk about living with C-PTSD and everything that goes along with that. And today was another hard one to get here, sat here, set up with the camera and everything. You know, like, I've made a few videos now, and I mean, I always knew this channel would be quiet and slow going, but like getting the motivation to just keep making videos, because I think it's important to do it and I want to do it, but at the same time you can kind of battle yourself, can't you, because maybe things don't go exactly the way you wanted. So that kind of connects to today's video, because today we're talking about managing your expectations. Now, this term can have a lot of negative connotations to it, I think, because when people think about managing your expectations, it just means that you have to make your expectations a lot lower. And for some people, it might feel like just admitting they can't achieve the things they want to. And that's wrong. That's wrong completely. I would say that is wrong. Managing your expectations doesn't mean you can't achieve the things you want to. Whatever your hopes and dreams and the things you're working to, whatever they might be, you can achieve them. But what managing your expectations means is that you have to be patient with yourself and the process that will take. Now, for some people, it may seem like from the outside, when you see somebody else maybe achieving something that you would want to do, it may seem that the process for them is quicker and easier. And it might be. It might not be, it might be, but you can't really know that from the outside. But you've got to stop thinking about other people's timetables. I think this is one of the really important things about when you manage your expectations. It's not about limiting what you can achieve. It's about understanding that whatever you want to achieve could take longer than maybe you'd like it to, or maybe it's a longer amount of effort than you might like it to. I mean, it'd be nice if everything was easy, right? But it's not. And for us as people living with C-PTSD, things can be harder still, right? So, maybe you're the type of person that wants to be able to talk at conferences for whatever profession you might work in. Maybe you'd really like to do that, but you just don't think you'd ever be able to stand on stage and get in front of people and talk. Well, you could. You fully could. But it doesn't mean it's going to be exactly the same experience for you as somebody that doesn't have C-PTSD, right? So the process of going about working towards that goal could take you longer. It could have more things that you need to battle with. And I think the biggest thing about managing your expectations is just to be okay with that, and to really just give yourself a break and be okay with the fact that some things are more difficult for you. Like all the things sometimes, but it's not about counting the hours or anything like that. It's about being okay with yourself and just being like, okay, I want to work towards this goal, but this is really hard for me and it doesn't seem as hard for other people, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to work on this thing and I'm going to break it down and I'm going to make it into a way that I can do it and I can work towards this goal. That's how you achieve your goals, because if you don't manage your expectations about how you have to work towards things, then you won't reach those goals, because you're going to become disheartened and you're probably just gonna become more enraged at yourself about not being able to do the things you want to. Whereas if you take that step back and break these things down and manage the process and understand that you can fully do everything you want to in your life, but yeah, you've got to, throughout that process, be kind to yourself and be patient with yourself. If you don't get something straight away or something scares you, then you're going to have to keep working on it and finding the ways for you to be okay with it, for you to work up towards it so it becomes less scary to you. Because you can do that, and you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. It just takes the effort and the willingness to say, I am okay with who I am. I'm okay with having C-PTSD. I'm okay with the fact that it makes my life harder. I'm okay with understanding that I have to do things differently to other people. I'm okay with having a personal timetable that isn't the same as everybody else's. You've got to be okay with yourself, right? I mean, for so many of the things I talk about, and just living with C-PTSD in general, the more okay and understanding you can be with your condition, the easier it gets. And I know you might think, well, I'm okay with it. I'm fine. I understand I have this thing. I just get annoyed because of X, Y, and Z. Well, have to break it down, don't you? Because those things you're getting annoyed at are actually just different ways of you not being okay with yourself. Rather than looking at, oh, I have difficulty if I try and do things this way. Okay, maybe I've got to find a workaround for that and find a way around. Because there's always a way around something. There is always a workaround, there's always a way around it. But it will take effort, it will take patience, and it will take you being fundamentally okay with yourself. Being okay to be on that different timetable and different timeline to anybody else. Being okay to meet these challenges and do them in your own way, and not feeling the pressure from anyone else or society in general, but being okay to do things your way and understand that you can achieve what you want to achieve, but manage your expectations of the process and how it goes. And if you do that, you can work towards all the goals in your life. And if that goal is just being okay with yourself, which is a good goal, and it's one that we all need to work on, and yeah, manage your expectations of that too, because that's not an easy thing to happen. Sure, I can sit here and just say, look, you need to be okay with yourself. You need to not beat yourself up about having issues with doing certain everyday things. Yeah, sure, it's easy for me to sit here and say that, right? But you know what wasn't easy? Getting to the point where I could sit in front of a camera and talk to you about these things. Like I've said it before in past videos, the reason I made this channel and the reason why I make these videos is because I think it's really important, because I feel privileged about the fact that I'm in a place with my condition that I can talk about it, that I can sit here and talk openly about it. And it's not always easy, but I can do it. So I am. And I just always hope that there's somebody else that sees the video and kind of gets some inspiration or just some understanding. Just being able to see somebody else and go, do you know what? That person's okay to be open and talk about this condition. Like, that person isn't afraid to try and achieve things, so why can't I do it? And you can. You really, really can, but like everything we talk about here, it's a process. It's not a quick one. It's one that's going to involve a lot of effort, right? But again, it's something that you can do and you can work towards every day, bit by bit. So please, learn to manage your expectations of yourself. Learn to be okay with things taking you longer. Learn to maybe enjoy that process for what it is. Because maybe it's taking you longer to do a certain thing because you need to take longer. Maybe by focusing on the process itself, maybe that might help you find some mental peace. Because when you stop trying to just rush towards goals, when you realize that reaching a goal is a process, it's a journey, and when you think about every point of that journey being important, every bit of that learning, every bit of that researching, every bit of that fulfillment, when you think about it, rather than just being something to get past and just seeing it as something that's valuable in itself, every bit of effort you make towards a goal makes a difference to you personally. And you can learn so much about yourself and your condition by understanding process and understanding how you react to certain things, and being able to give yourself a break when maybe you react in ways that you don't like, that aren't beneficial to you, that aren't positive to you. And you know, when you react in ways like that, you can learn from that, because it you know, it's cheesy to say that every day is a learning experience, but it can be. Revelations can come anytime, anywhere, and you developing yourself and who you are and what you want to do and achieve in your life, like every bit of that is important, and not just the goals themselves, but everything it takes to get to those goals. Sometimes you might achieve goals and then realize the actual important thing was getting to that in the first place, because it's not even achieving the goal, it's just knowing that you can do it. And you fully 100% can. But please be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, understand the process, manage your expectations. And if you do that, you can achieve anything you want to. That's possible in this world. I fully believe that. I genuinely do. It's in sitting here in my late 30s, I've done things I never thought I'd be able to do, you know. And at the other side of him, it almost, like, you can almost forget about how difficult it was for you to do certain things once upon a time. And then you look back over the process and realize, like, what kind of things you've learned from trying to achieve the things you want to achieve. So that's the take home today. Manage your expectations and understand the process. Be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself, because every roadblock, every barrier that you kind of contend with, that is something you can deal with and you can get around. And the way you get around it might not be the same as everybody else. You might have to find your own special way of doing things. Cool. Because you have to do it the right way for you. That's why I don't try and give you full advice of you do this and you do this and that's an easy step towards being a good person and living well even though you have CPTSD. Don't work like that, does it? I mean, I could probably make those clickbaity videos and say 3 steps to better health with C-PTSD. I could probably do that. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. I want to be realistic. Right? That's the one thing that's really important to me, is to be realistic about how it is to live with CPTSD. And even as someone who feels like they're in a stable place mentally, I feel like I'm in a place where I'm able to talk about some really difficult things without, I don't know, without it triggering me. And I'm able to just sit here and relate those things to you. That's really important to me, to be real about it. But do I feel my heart going sometimes when I'm recording these videos? Have you seen my eyes going glassy because I'm on the verge of tears when recording some of these videos? Yeah, that happens. And I've tried to actually never cut that stuff out. I've tried to be realistic and real and just keep it in, because it kind of doesn't matter sometimes how far you come and how comfortable you are with your condition. It's still there. It's not going anywhere. But that doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to stop you from living and doing the things you want to do with your life. So I think we're going to end it here. I hope this video has helped you. I'd really appreciate if you give it a share, a like, subscribe to the channel. Really important if you could share it out to anybody else you think it might help. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really, really appreciate you watching. And until next time, take care. Peace.